Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this video. So today I'm going to be doing my January wrap up, and I have a few things first I need to say, like always, because I talk a lot. I'm sorry about the room situation. Normally I trust on the sun outside, but it's dark, so the only lamp that is kind of working is the one that I have in front of me, and so I kind of had to change everything around a bit. So I know it looks very plain and boring in the background. Welcome to my room. No, but seriously, just all the colorful things that I do have is mainly my bookshelves, and they're in front of me right now, so that's kind of why. And I'm wearing glasses, and you can probably see the lamp reflected in my glasses sometimes, or the entire time. I'm sorry about that. I'm only going to be filming 2 videos with this setup, and then hopefully I can come home to normal times and film. School has started for me, so I don't have that much time anymore. And I have a lot of work as well, so I kind of need to, kind of figure out what I'm going to be doing, and hopefully this will be fine for this video and also my February TBR. I'm very sorry. And the last thing is that you can probably not see it, but my hair is actually a lot shorter in this video, but there will be a video up in like 2 weeks where it's long again, and that's just because I pre-filmed that before I filmed this one, so that's just the reason why it looks like that. But now for my January wrap up, and some of the books I have on me, some I don't. You guys know the drill. I did not follow my TBR at all. Seriously. I did not even complete one book that was on my TBR. So that's great. But I know I'm going to follow my February TBR because all of my books on my February TBR are books from the library, and those are like books that I need to finish before a certain date because then I have to return them. So yeah. But let's just jump right into the books that I've read, and they're going to be in a random order. The first one that I did complete was Women in Science. This is about 50 fearless pioneers who changed the world. And this is also has illustrations in it, and it looks so cool. Just picking a few random ones so you can like see. So we basically hear about 50 different kind of women's, from like a very, very long time ago to more recent times, like the 1980s and stuff like that, and it's really interesting actually to read about how they changed the world and science and stuff. I definitely thought it was very interesting, and that's just basically what it's about, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I finished is As Brave as You by Jason Reynolds that's actually also a book that I read in January. I also read All American Boys by Jason Reynolds. I will talk about that a bit later. But I read that by him and I loved it. So I wanted to read more about this author. So I decided to pick up his middle grade book. And this was very, very good. I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good. This is mainly about these 2 brothers. And they are going to live at their grandparents' house for, I believe, like a month or so while their parents are away on a holiday. And there's just some things happening where it has a lot of meaning. But the youngest guy, I believe he's 11 years old, and he has a lot of questions. He asks a lot of questions, and his grandfather is blind, and he has a lot of questions like, how can he know that and that when he's blind and stuff. And then there is also a lot of things with a gun, and it's kind of hard to explain, I feel like, without spoiling too much or actually spoiling like the true meaning or what it's trying to symbolize whatsoever. But I thought it was very good, and it was I thought it was a very beautiful story. There were so many few times where I felt like crying because there is some family drama as well, and it just kind of broke my heart a little bit. Then I obviously read more books from the Mates and Dates series. I actually finished 6 more of the Mates and Dates books, which must be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Well, that's 7, right? Yeah. And I cannot remember what they're called, so I just need to look at my Goodreads. First, we have Mates and Dates in Sleepover Secrets, then we have Mates, Dates in Soul Survivors, Mates, Dates in Mad Mistakes, Mates, Dates in Sequin Smiles, Mates, Dates in Tempting Trouble, and Mates and Dates in Great Escapes. and I am missing 3 more that I'll probably read in February or March. I'm not quite sure. I have a lot of books I need to read in February as well. But I'm almost done with the series and it's so good. You guys know I love it. Rated all of them 5 out of 5 stars. I think they're so cute. The next book that I read is called In Real Life, and this is a graphic novel about this girl. She's a gamer. She loves to play, and we kind of follow her, like her real life and then her gamer world life, where she's this completely different character, and it was not anything huge. I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. I kind of liked it because I like to play computer myself, but it was just basically her world and then the gamer girl's world, and then there was something happening towards the end, which I'm not going to say because I will spoil something, but it was just a cute graphic novel that I wouldn't say I could relate to it, but I just thought it was fun because I do play games myself. Then I read All American Boys by Jason Reynolds. Oh, this was awesome. Probably the best book that I read in January. I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. This was incredible. This was like a random pick from Goodreads, which I tend to do that a lot. You'll also see that in my February TBR. But this was incredible. Seriously, this deals with the racism. First of all, we follow this colored person and this white boy, and we like this guy. What are they even called? I cannot remember their names because this was one of the first books that I read, so I've kind of like already forgotten that. But the colored guy, he really early in the start gets beaten up by a white police officer, and he didn't do anything, but he just got beaten up, and he actually almost the entire book through, he lies at the hospital. He's not in any like danger, but he just has to lie there because they just want to check up on him and stuff. And the other perspective in the story is this white guy who actually saw it. But the thing is, the white guy, I kind of hate to say the white guy, but I don't know what else to call him because I can't remember his name. Quinn. He's called Quinn, but I can't remember the other guy's name. Let's call him R, because I know it was something with R, I believe. Maybe I should look it up what he was called. Rashad, I believe. We're just gonna call him R because I'm not quite sure if I pronounced it correctly, and I don't want to mispronounce his name for this entire little talking session. So we're gonna call him R. Yeah. The thing is, Quinn saw the fight, and the police officer is actually Quinn's best friend's older brother. So he doesn't really know what to say or whatsoever because the police officer was kind of like a big brother for Quinn. So he doesn't really want to say that he did something wrong, and it's kind of like this huge drama, and you never know what's going to happen. Is he going to say something to the police? What is going to happen? And it's really interesting, and I'm definitely glad the way that it ended because it ended good. I felt like it ended the way that it should end, but it seriously made me cry because I feel like it's such a huge problem. The next book that I read was called Fairy Tale Comics. This was basically just a lot of fairy tales that was in like a graphic novel, and I loved it. I thought it was so cute, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed reading it because I knew a lot of these fairy tales, so it was just so fun to see them like in a graphic novel. I loved it. I was a huge fan. The next book that I read is called, if I pronounce it correctly, When the Imperia Was Divine, and this was once again just a random book that I decided to read. I'm pretty sure this was a historical fiction. This was really good and deep in a way. From what I can remember, this is about this family that it's under Second World War. Oh my god, how can I not remember what this was about? I thought it was sometimes it was kind of hard to understand where like they were in the world and what actually did happen. We mainly follow this family of a mother and 2 children, and they're kind of living, it's under World War II, and I don't think it's a concentration camp. It's not, but they're someplace else while the war is going on, and they just, the way that you kind of like read their thoughts, their opinions, and you kind of read it from all of their perspectives, I believe. And their dad has been taken away, and when he's going to return and stuff, and what's going to happen, are they just going to give up, and what's so on, and it's really deep in a way. I feel like it's really hard trying to like to say what it's about. Like really hard. I just felt like I did not really say that very well. But it was very good and I did like it. I don't think this is a book for everyone, but I did enjoy it, and it was just a short book, so but I will still definitely think that it's worth a read, definitely. The next book that I read was The Beginning of Everything, which apparently is also called Served Heads, Broken Hearts by Robin Schneider. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. Kind of felt like this was the YA, usual YA contemporary. We follow this guy, he get his like knee leg messed up in an accident, he can't really play tennis again, which was kind of like the only thing he did before. He doesn't really hang out with the same people anymore, and then he meets this girl, he falls in love, the relationship is developing, but then there's also a lot of other things happening, but I'm not gonna say that. But it was good, I liked it. Once again, kind of like the usual contemporary, nothing like huge going on and stuff like that, but still very good. The next book that I read is Sex Criminals Volume 2. I rated this 3 out of 5 stars. It's such a weird idea and plot. I think it's so weird. The main thing is that we follow these two people whenever they have sex. Time stops. And they commit crimes. This was a book that I finished like the very first day of January, so I cannot remember what's going on. But I just feel like it's so weird, but I can't stop reading it because I think it's like so weird that it gets fun. So yeah. The last book that I read is called Tampa by Alyssa Nutting. This was a very interesting read. This is about a teacher called Celeste. She's 26 years old. She teaches 8th graders. And the thing is, seems normal, but she has this very sexual obsession with 14-year-old boys. And they kind of have to be 14 years old because when they get older, they're getting too manly, you know, and she doesn't like that. She kind of likes them being like this young and stuff. And she starts developing this relationship with a guy called Jack Patrick, which she's obviously not allowed to because it's actually a crime to do what she's doing because he's so young. But they're developing this relationship, and then things get kind of weird towards the end. I rated this 3.75 stars, I believe, because I was not a huge fan of the ending. I thought everything got a bit too much, too dramatic, even though I know it's the real case, but I don't know, I just thought everything got a bit too weird. I kind of wanted it to end in another way, to be honest. But it was interesting. This is definitely not a topic you read a lot about or hear a lot about because it's something that's illegal. It was good. It was very graphic, maybe a bit too graphic, and I mean not just a few there and there. There is a lot of things that is very graphic. So if you're sensitive to that, I would definitely not recommend you guys reading it because holy, there's a lot of very detailed stuff about different kind of things that I'm not gonna sit here and explain. But I still liked it though, and it was definitely definitely out of my comfort zone. But that's what I'm trying to do. Really like it so far. I've been getting a lot of different library books that I need to read to try to get more out of my comfort zone, and I love it. I think it's so much interesting, and I get to read all kind of different books. I like it a lot, and I'm definitely going to continue doing this a lot more. So, but that was my wrap up. That was everything that I read in January, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!